All good.
sickly.
I guess everybody just make sure you're long rested up.
Yeah, we did. We did take a long rest.
No, we didn't level up or anything, right?
No. Nope.
You long rested.
As much as Xantix asked, we did not.
We did.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
the DM decided to.
Yeah, only everyone who's here gets to level up. So yeah, as Craig just explained to y'all, yeah, we had that quick recap. Arrived at the Baratok Tower, met Esmeralda de Avenir. She also explained a lot of things about vampires, and she seems to be incredibly knowledgeable about vampires.
Do we know why?
She has not specifically said.
I mean, she's living in a vampire hunter's tower. She seems to she seems to care somewhat what we think about this old vampire hunter.
Interesting.
So, you all are, and we can take you back to Baratok Tower just to give you a sense of where we're at.
I can't see a damn thing. Now I can.
So you all spent the night in the tower, and you all begin to slowly awaken. However, Xantix, you're going to be the first one to wake up. Is there anything you want to do before anyone wakes up?
I'm going to be the first one to wake up?
Yeah, since your long rest is only like 4 hours.
Okay.
Malachi's outside. He wakes up first, but...
Yeah. Mine's 6 hours. But...
6 hours. So you wake up 2 hours before everyone else does.
Okay.
You do still have that journal entry that you found in the desk. Oh, no, she took that back.
Yeah, but I read it all.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe spend that time just transcribing it, or?
I kind of figured that I would just wrote that shit
noted
down as I went. Well, I can with my quill, I can just.
Gotcha. Not floating quill right beside you as you're reading, just.
Yeah, like I think
away.
it's quill. I mean, like that's my thing. Oh, it's from my spell. It's from my class feature. I get a fancy magic quill.
Let's go ahead and put some of these together.
But yeah, I wrote that all down. What else would I do? Fuck.
You don't have to do anything.
I'm just thinking.
Sure.
I guess I would just I'd hang out with my boy Piddlewick.
Okay.
I'd work on. I guess since I started on it a little while ago, I work on trying to make him a voice box.
Roll a tinkering check.
Fuck. I don't even have my dice out. What am I doing?
Jeez.
Fucking hell.
So, while he's getting all this done, I'll give you a second.
What? Sorry. What was the
tinkering
ability?
check? Yeah. So.
Yeah, but what do we decide that was?
Intelligence plus your proficiency, because you're proficient with it. So.
Yeah. That is. What is my proficiency at this point?
+3.
Is it +3? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's just it's the same as my saving throw. At +8, 25.
25. You have continued to work on this, and you're feeling like you're making a lot of progress. There's still something a bit difficult about specifically giving something that doesn't have a voice. But you're pretty confident that if you continue to work in this way and continue to make this sort of progress, continue to roll well, you're going to be able to figure it out. But
Giving a voice to the voiceless.
Piddlewick seems pretty excited at the opportunity. He seems to be sort of eager to have it happen.
I'm showing him what I do as I go too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's everything.
Michael Jackson.
Everything is a learning opportunity.
Sure. And he's you can tell he's like somewhat interested in the mechanics, but really he's just excited about the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you slowly awaken as well, and one by one, Van Renfield, you do awaken in a sort of, it's very hazy for you because your dreams have been very strange, very dark, just lots of images and
Darker than usual.
I wouldn't even say darker than usual, just very different than what you're used to. It's a lot of voices, and it's a lot of kind of incoherent whispering that you feel like, you know, those dreams when you remember, you know what was happening in the dream, but when you wake up you just can't quite remember the specifics. But there's definitely a voice that is lingering in your head, but you can't quite remember what it said. But you wake up and you do remember the events that passed yesterday, and at this point, it still makes a lot of sense to you. Xemnas, you wake up at the top story of the tower, and you are there with, let me remember who I was up there, Xantix and Victor and Toad and Donovic. Donovic, who seems to be rested but have really gotten very little actual sleep as he's sort of mending his greatsword from the night before. Esmeralda is still fast asleep on her bed.
I have something I would love to kind of be doing if, like, as everyone's waking up, I guess, if I could.
Go ahead.
I don't know what I would be able to get out of this, but I have a flask of alchemist fire. And I have a bunch of crossbow bolts and a cloak. Can I, like, rip up the cloak and try and make some, like, alchemist fire crossbow bolts out of this thing?
I don't see any reason why not. Why you can't try. So let's see. You are proficient in alchemist supplies.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, since you're familiar with alchemist supplies and the application, sometimes being the application of alchemy on, well, no, there'd be more poisons. I'm going to say roll an intelligence check. You're not going to get proficiency with this. So you're just going to have a +1 to your roll.
Yeah, it's a crit fail.
Okay, you let's see. You just have a vial of alchemist fire. Yeah, so as you try to do this, you're still in a bit of a haze. And as you try to dip the bolts, you just sort of get a bit dizzy, and you end up spilling the alchemist fire all over the wagon. So you no longer have a vial of alchemist fire.
Excellent.
Oh shit, actually, hold on. Okay. So I'm reading the details of Alchemist Fire.
It's supposed to
As
catch
it
on fire with contact with air.
as it spills, and if I'm not mistaken, you were in the wagon, correct?
Oh damn! I didn't know it burst into flame when exposed to air. Shit.
Yeah.
You were in the wagon, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Okay. So, give me one moment, because this is actually pretty bad. What's happening right now? So, as you try to dip this, you begin to spill the alchemist fire over the ground. Those of you who are outside of the tower, or in the tower, you just hear and a flash of light. Van Renfield, I need you to roll.
Can you make that sound again, please? What was that?
Van Renfield, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Chris, I need you to put on that sweatshirt again, by the way.
Well, yeah. Was that?
I need you to put that Ahigo short back on.
19, Chase.
19?
Dog owl.
Okay.
I was afraid that we'd get kicked off of Twitch if I was wearing that during the
I
stream.
will say I'm not trying to retroactive like this horrible thing. I am saying though that if it would make sense for Van Renfield to know that if it makes sense that he doesn't know that it ignites when exposed to air, then I'm all for whatever's about to happen happening. If it makes sense that he would know that literally like pulling open the vial is gonna like make a huge explosion, he probably would not have opened it.
So,
I mean, unless the charm has him all fucked up. So I don't know.
So we're gonna keep what's happening, but we will retcon it in a way that makes a bit more sense. So we'll say that you were trying to make some sort of bolt happen with this vial. More in the sense of attaching this vial to a crossbow bolt. As it's not really a big...
I just stuffed the execution.
And what really is causing this is the crit fail, which causes you to spill the vial and it break on the ground. Malachi is in fact not in the wagon. Malachi woke up early and has been continuing to skin some of the werewolf hides. So,
Sure.
So you rolled a 19 on your constitution. So you basically, as the glass falls, are able to sort of burrow yourself up into a ball. Findral, where are you?
I'm still down. I'm assuming everyone's still up in the room.
Okay.
Like up in the top level.
Yeah.
Findral
And you're at the
is
bottom.
still on the bottom because he's definitely not getting on that rickety ass elevator.
No. So you hear this and see this flash, Findral, and your eyes are immediately taken to the open doorway in which you see just fly across the open doorway. Van Renfield just fly across. Van Renfield, you are thrown out of this wagon by the explosion. You take... Let's see. "24 points of damage halved to 12. So you take 12 points of fire damage as you are blasted from this wagon.
I was about to say 24 points. I was about to be like, fuck.
12 points.
He's done
of
for the
fire.
day.
12 points of fire damage as you tuck yourself into a ball and are just thrown, in fact, so far across that you fly into the water just near the shore. So you are basically just thrown across over here.
Oh my god.
While this is happening, Frindral's peeking out the window, just shaking his head. Just
if Xantix hears an explosion, he'll go downstairs.
You all of you upstairs hear this explosion, and you see Esmeralda sit up immediately and grab the hand axe off of the bedside table.
I think I might have just got us kicked out.
You all look out these windows. There are window slits up top. You pull back the curtains and look out, and you can see just the smoking wreckage of where the wagon used to be. And you see, you for a second don't see Van Renfield, but then you just hear the splashing of water and just as a still like smoking and sizzling Van Renfield comes out of the water. Esmeralda peeks out the window and just sort of shakes her head. Well, hope to save that for something a bit more useful, but suppose it's not a terrible loss.
Did you have anything valuable in there?
No, nothing particularly valuable. Everything was brought up here. That was meant to be a last-ditch effort to stop some intruders, but suppose it's gone now. But no, nothing I can't live without.
Should we go see what happens?
By all means, go check on your friend.
I'll head down. We gotta go one at a time.
Yep. So you slowly make your way down this elevator, and it's a 5x5 elevator, Xemnas, so it everyone has to go down one by one. So it takes you all a very, very long time.
Okay.
But Xantix, as you reach the bottom, you do see Van Renfield just sort of lumbering up from the shore, just still kind of smoking.
I want to I walk up, Van Renfield walks out and he's like, oh my God, what the hell's that woman got in there? I was just sleeping, minding my own business, and whatever booby trap she has in there just exploded out of nowhere.
Roll a deception check, Van Renfield.
I'll roll an insight.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not good at it, but I'll roll it. Nat 20.
17.
Damn. So 21.
Van Renfield, you come up and you feel like you're giving a great performance. You're saving face. There's no way this gullible robot here is gonna buy it. Xantix, you see right through it. He clearly was doing something very dumb and clearly fucked up and caused this explosion.
Well, I can see the glistening of some alchemist fire on you, and it's fairly rare, and the only person I know who has it is you.
And you see,
that's what I mean. She must have had some in there, and it must have leaked or fallen out or something. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't work under these conditions.
Van Renfield, you just see Malachi over there still skinning.
I stick to my. There's no way I'm backing down from the story.
You see Malachi over there just skinning a werewolf. Just turn and look at you and just go, "Well, shit," and then just can shake his head and continue skinning a werewolf.
I'll ask. Already forgotten her name. You just said
Esmeralda.
It. Esmeralda.
She is not down there with you.
Well, I assume I can look up through the hole that goes all the way up to the 4th floor.
It's pretty high. I mean, it's like 50 feet up.
Yeah, but you can hear someone from 50 feet away if they yell.
Sure. Go for it.
Yeah.
There's also the clanking of gears as people come down, but you can go for it. You can try.
Did you have alchemist fire? Or, I can message, too. That's like a 60-foot thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll point and say message. I'll roll. Fuck. It passes.
You just hear, no. No, I did not.
Why did you blow up her cart? Was it I mean, what were you trying to do with your alchemist fire? Did you just drop it? Or was it on purpose?
I don't have to explain what kind of ideas I have in my head.
Well, I mean, normally I would agree, but if you're under the thrall of Strahd, then I have some concerns.
My crossbow, okay? Just trying to make some cool bolts for my crossbow. I spilled some. It didn't go well, all right? Can you not tell the others, please?
Okay. So that's a 16 on an insight on that second one.
Yeah, I mean, he's telling the truth. I mean, it seems he's doesn't seem to be like this was a calculated move. This just seems like he spilled some alchemist fire.
Okay. Fair enough. It's all right.
Do you have anything? I don't know. Put it out.
Water normally puts out alchemist fire. Are you still on fire? You fell in the water. Oh, you mean the wreckage? Yes. Yeah. Oh, water, I suppose. Lots of dirt and sand. Hold on.
It's not really like catching anywhere. It's just like
it's just
smoldering
exploded
and just it's just like smoldering. Okay.
All right.
I'll walk over and
What really caused this explosion was the alchemist fire triggering the explosives
The
that
booby
were
trap.
already
I got
in the
you.
in the wagon.
Yeah, and it just exploded everywhere. Got it. Okay.
I will if there is any fire, I'll walk over and move earth to like cover it in dirt to smother the flames.
Sure. You move earth and it doesn't take much to cover the rest of the flames. Zimnus,
got a big wooden tower.
You are still up at the top of the tower as Piddlewick and Toad and Victor all take their turns in the elevator. So it's left with you, Donovic, and Esmeralda. And Esmeralda, just for a moment, looks at the both of you and Donovic and just goes, "So, this is your group of adventurers, eh? You hope to take on Strahd?" And she's just
looks at who?
She looks at both you and Donovic. And it's just you two and her up at the top of the tower as you wait for your turn down.
You know, we're usually not this scatterbrained.
Donovic,
it goes a lot better when we're mid fight.
Donovic kind of looks at you a bit and goes, "I disagree. It's usually about this."
Okay, you're right. It is usually about this, but we've made it this far, haven't we?
Is this at the top of the thing?
The tower, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right, now.
Down at the bottom, Victor sort of arrives and is just like, "What happened?"
I just want to make sure this wasn't being said within earshot of Fendrog.
No.
It appears there was a failed safety pin on her trap. Just went off.
Roll a deception check.
Regardless of how it goes, Van Renfield like looks over at him and gives him like a pretty obvious like wink and nudge.
Okay. 9 on the dice, -1, 8.
Victor just sort of goes, "Right. Okay."
Totally actually probably blown because of Van Renfield being like
Victor just sort of, "Very well. Well, he sort of kind of looks up at the tower and then just sort of kind of looks out at the rest of you all and goes, So what do we do now?" And
I think we have to pick out our attire for this wedding. Seems like it's going to be the event of the season.
Victor sort of looks at you and goes, okay, not him. And looks at you, Xantix and Findral, and goes, what do we do now?
Well, I guess we have a couple options at this point. Chase, do you mind going back to the world map?
Sure.
I feel like it'd be easier to like plan stuff out. Cool. Well, I suppose at this point, our options would probably be to head to Kresk. Although I think probably a higher priority is heading to the Wizard of Wines and seeing if we can get some food sent back to Vallaki.
What's that red circle up? Not to fucking metagame here or whatever, but what's that up in the top left? That circle, not where we are, but the one to the like west of there.
That's Kresk.
And Kresk is why is it circle?
Kresk is like the westernmost village. That is where there apparently is a abbey, an abbey to a Saint Martikov.
Right. Thank you.
That is also where apparently there is a holy man who can raise people from the dead.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I think that's where we originally said we could take Victor.
Yep.
So
Victor sort of leans in and goes, I vote Kresk.
Are you sure? The wines man is very important.
Well, I am not sure. My purpose here was to accompany you everywhere. I thought the idea was that I just come along with you until we get to Kresk. So after last night, I would very much like to get to Kresk.
What's the matter, kid? Never seen a werewolf or a vampire before?
Literally no. Not alive. I've seen a few dead dire wolves. That was
right.
it.
Well, in that case, I can see how that would be distressing.
Thank you.
Well, and also I don't think we necessarily had an agreement between ourselves. We just happened to be going in the same direction.
Well then,
I'm happy to keep teaching you, but in order to do so, you're gonna have to stick with us.
he sort of like takes a second and I roll just a general charisma check, Xantix.
And can I tack this on at the end?
Sure, go ahead.
Try for advantage. And your other option, if we do decide to go to the Wizard of Wines, is to split off from the party and make the rest of the trek by yourself.
He kind of already figured that. Like, he figured at any point he could go on his own, and that's already not been an option. Like,
Fair enough. Okay. God, I'm rolling pretty well tonight. 16, 17 minus 1.
he just kind of goes, shit, fine, okay. But just know that I'm not made for all of this.
We do need to see this holy man. And I don't foresee us wanting to come back this direction once we've left.
Say that.
And
what?
Zimnis, you've just now begun to reach the bottom of the tower.
I've just now what?
You're just now reaching the bottom of the tower, so you're beginning to hear all of this.
We do need to see this holy man in Kresk.
I agree, but if we don't...
And I don't foresee us wanting to come back this direction once we've left. Might be nice to, or might be prudent to, see him before we head south.
You know, I had a thought about this holy man and Kresk. If he can truly raise the dead, do we think that he could raise the patron saint that's in Vallaki? He was useful against drought before.
Oh.
Malachi
Shroud.
enters the
Sorry.
I did that last session too.
Malachi does enter the tower as well, and you can tell that he's sort of begun to overhear all this, and he sort of like he's just at this point like covered in werewolf pelts, like just covered in like blood, and
I can see it in my
he's
head.
got like 6 like full like, and not just like wolf, but like these are human sized like pelts that he's just got laid across him and like under his arm, and he's just like, well, I kind of say fuck no to the spooky man who raises people from the dead. Sounds like a bad idea. I say we go check out this Wizard of Wines fella.
I'm not saying we can't achieve both of these.
Also, to ease some of your worries, Van Renfield, we do have to come back mostly through this area, on our way back from the Wizard of Wines. So we'd have to go
Fair
down
enough.
that path and then back. How long of a ride would it be from, like, I assume it would probably take as long as it took for us to get here from Vallaki as it would for us to get to the Wizard of Wines.
The Wizard of Wines is a bit longer since it's...
We'd have to take the trail as opposed to a main road.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
This is going to end... It's just a little bit longer, so... Whereas from Vallaki to Lake Baratok, you kind of could go from, like, morning to dusk. This is you're going to have to go through the night.
Gotcha. Or camp out.
Yeah.
Which we could do.
Yep.
If there's wine on the menu, I'm down to see the wizard.
Wonderful Wizard of Wine. Did I hear the conversation about old boy wanting to get dropped in Kresk?
Yeah, you sort of got, like, little bits of it.
What was his name again?
Victor.
Oh, yeah. Victor, what's this about no longer wanting to travel with us? I thought you were more than excited to broaden your magical horizons.
I was never truly thrilled about the idea of traveling with you all. Learning some magic was a sort of silver lining from it. However, after last night, I would prefer to live as opposed to being eaten alive by werewolves or have my blood sucked out by a vampire lord.
So you'd rather remain a boy, is what you're telling me. Men aren't made locked in a room.
If being a boy means I live, then sure.
Ben Renfield walks up to Xantix and is like, not everyone's made to stare, or Zemnis rather, and is like, not everyone is cut out to stare the devil in the face.
Well, maybe him, but he is a robot, so I think he was made for this, but you're probably right.
I was actually made as a scribe.
Fendra, are you just
I think
taking all this in?
Ben Renfield turns to Xantix and is like, really a scribe? Fascinating.
Well, and test subject. I think.
Donovic is coming down the elevator as well, and he sort of... Well, have we made a decision then yet?
Not really.
I mean, I'm on board. I say we can put it to a vote. I'll just say what I'm. You can all just say what we're voting for.
Malachi raises his hand and goes, I vote wine.
I also vote wine.
Before I vote, Donovic, what do you think about the Holy Man and Kresk raising the patron saint in Vallaki?
As far as I remember, the St. Andrew was nothing but bones, and something tells me the only people who can raise bones back are the not the holy kind. If you catch my drift.
Good point. You make a good point. I vote wine.
Far be it from me to go against the party.
Victor kind of goes, for whatever good it does, I vote Krez. But
You don't get a vote.
Damn.
I do not care. I am stuck with you imbeciles either way.
Okay, one abstain. Piddlewick, where do you want to go?
Piddlewick just kind of points at you and then shrugs his shoulders.
One for wine. Okay.
I'd say it looks like we're off to see the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Wines.
So you all begin to skip down the road.
Clicking our heels as we go.
Yeah, what is the road made out of?
Dicks.
Pure gold. So Donovic just sort of shrugs and goes, fine. Anything else we want to learn from this Esmeralda?
I would like to know what her relation to the original owner of this tower is. She seems awfully defensive of him.
My thoughts exactly. She knows something she's not telling us.
I'm wondering if he had a daughter. Suppose the best we can do is ask.
If he had a daughter...
As she comes down the elevator,
Oh, we can
everyone's
do more than
staring at her.
ask. We can do more than ask. And Van Renfield pulls out like a wooden stake.
Donovic just sort of puts his hand up and goes, friend, I think you're still not quite right in the head.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. What happened outside?
There's a faulty safety pin on the explosive mechanism, and it went
Or
off.
manufacturing and the booby trap mechanism outside.
Do I believe either of them?
Victor immediately looks at you and just goes, so roll an insight with advantage.
Insight with it.
Should we roll again, or are we just gonna
Roll,
let that?
both of you roll deception with disadvantage.
Can I roll perception? Perception with advantage. Well,
A 0.
There's a 20. I rolled a dirty 20.
Yeah, they're both full of shit.
Nat 1 minus 1.
Literally, as they say this, Xantix turns to Van Renfield and goes, and winks, and Van Renfield goes,
I think I would start to say something and then just shake my head.
They all totally believe it.
We got them. Not whispering.
okay. Donovic's just sort of shaking his head, and he goes, all right, so are we leaving, or are we asking this Esmeralda more questions?
Let's ask her a couple questions before we leave.
Gosh. What did we know from her already? I should have read this fucking journal entry before the session.
Oh, you didn't?
Forgot.
Damn.
No, I
Okay,
completely
so
forgot.
basically, if you remember,
Rod's an extra powerful vampire.
yeah,
Vampires are fucked over by daylight, but because of the perpetual night, he can just do whatever the fuck he wants whenever he wants. The stake in the heart thing doesn't work to kill them. It does fuck them up if you stake them, I think, when they're in their resting place.
yeah, and basically the main point she stresses is that the key to defeating a vampire is to finding their resting place. And
That's the big one.
She explains that she went there to kill Strahd, and she couldn't quite find his resting place, but her best guess is that it's down in the undercrofts below Castle Ravenloft.
Okay.
But that's pretty much what she told you.
Oh wait, hold up. I'm reading.
Is she coming downstairs?
You don't hear her coming.
I shall get back in the elevator and go upstairs then.
Okay.
Hold up. I'm reading this now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, if this was written by the vampire hunter,
there's no signature on it. And
Gotcha.
Esmeralda,
Well,
Esmeralda was very defensive. She took it back from you when she saw it, when she saw you reading
gotcha.
it.
Gotcha. I just mean
yeah.
This person's name is Erasmus, and her name is Esmeralda. It's a relatively similar name.
Well, hold on. Let me pull up exactly, because if I'm not mistaken, Erasmus is
the son of whoever wrote this.
Mm-hmm. So, as you begin to go up the elevator, Xemnas, you just hear kind of like a, hold on, stop. And then the elevator stops. She goes, down. I'll come down. Give me just a moment. And you get off the elevator, and it takes a second for the elevator to go back up and then slowly come down. And as it's coming down, you just hear her go, can't spend all day, you all coming up and down. What do you want?
Just wanted to know if you'd answer just a couple questions for us. We're really curious more than anything.
Curious about what?
What's your relation to the gentleman who used to live in this tower?
Relation?
Friend, father, cousin, brother, husband?
Didn't know him. Just came across this tower after he died.
You know, I would love to believe you, but I have this particular ability to see through people.
Is that so? Then why do you need me to answer your questions?
I'd really just more like you to confirm what I'm already thinking.
So tell me what you're thinking.
I think he's either your father or someone in your family.
As you say that, she kind of laughs and goes, ooh, not quite. Might want to test those skills again, friend.
Can I tell if she's lying to me?
Roll an insight check.
With or without advantage?
No advantage.
I feel like I should get advantage.
Why would you get advantage?
I don't know. She seems like a commoner.
She is definitely... You get the clear impression that this woman is not a commoner.
Oh, okay. You say... What did you say I needed to throw again?
Insight.
So, wisdom. A 10.
A 10. She's actually rather difficult to read right now. You're not quite sure if she's telling the truth or not.
Interesting. Okay, I've got one other question, and then I'll leave her alone. I just want to know what your end goal is.
Kill the vampire. I think that's clear enough.
So we share same goal then.
She sort of laughs. She goes, sure, but after what you all have shown me today, and do not get me wrong, I am grateful for your help with the werewolves. It might be best to leave it to someone a bit more capable.
I want to step toward her and say, you expect us to believe that your one goal is to kill a vampire. You know tons about vampires, and you just happen upon the tower of a vampire hunter
who's gone missing by coincidence.
Well,
Now,
I wouldn't say
you
missing.
you either found something in this tower that you thought would help you, or you were intimately acquainted with the previous owner. So what is it?
And Van Renfield, as this conversation is going on, you keep sort of, you're definitely still feeling the feeling that the more you disbelieve this woman, the more convinced you are that she's a threat to Strahd, like your greatest ally.
Your daddy.
And she is
Your senpai.
she is a very, very real threat to someone that to you is literally the key to getting out of here. So she just sort of looks in the eye and goes, "You of all people right now, I don't really care what you believe.
You might not care what I believe, and you might think that what I have to say is invalid. But you know the words that I say are true, and anyone who hears them would know that it's common sense, that these things aren't just coincidence. But you know something you're not sharing, and it's about Strahd and how to kill him. So fess up. Now."
Oh, I've told you how to
like-
kill him. You find him in his lair, and you stab him. A lot. As far as I know, there's nothing more to it than that. If you're looking for some great secret, friends, as far as I know, there is none.
I want to
That's
like
why
turn to the others and be like, she's clearly hiding something. We can't have her out and running around. She'll foil all of our plans. She'll ruin us. She needs to tell us what she knows, or we need to stop her.
Are you still sure of our plans yourself? What are our plans?
Our plans have always been to get out of this place.
By doing what?
Whatever means necessary.
I think you've lost the true goal, my friend.
And what is that?
To rid this land of Strahd.
Rid this land of Strahd? Who are these people? We don't know them. We don't care about them. I have to get out of here, and I'll do whatever it takes.
I believe you will.
No.
She's hiding something. You know it, and I know it.
Do you really think that she possesses a threat to our party?
She's a loose end.
I don't see how that's true. I mean, if she has the same enemy as us, then
If she has the same enemy as us, and she's our friend, then why will she not fess up about what she knows?
she
She
may
thinks-
have her own reasons.
And she thinks we're losers.
That is true. Isn't
Donna-
that true?
Donovic sort of, and she just sort of, Donovic kind of steps in and goes, "Well, I think you're right, Semnus, that Van Renfield over here has lost his damn mind about how to get out of here. I can't help but to agree with him about you." And he looks at Esmeralda. "You are hiding something. And it makes you look awfully suspicious." Into that, she sort of crosses her arms and just looks defiantly at him.
I will say, I do think that she may be justified in not trusting us. We did come in, blow up her cart, invade her home, what is now her home, I suppose, and interrogate her. I don't think it's completely unreasonable for her not to trust us. Look, I don't think that I would love to get more information about Strahd and how we could possibly defeat him and what maybe her plan was. But as far as I see it, as long as there's another person in this fight against him, then that's good with me.
I agree.
She sort of clears her throat for a second as I am grateful for what you all have done. I was in a pretty tight spot, and while I think I perhaps could have gotten at it on my own, I definitely appreciate the help that you all provided. However, because of that appreciation, I've told you all I know about Strahd. And that's the truth. He's a vampire, unlike anything else. And the key to killing any vampire is to find its lair, find where it nests, force it there, or find it when it's sleeping. A hard task for Strahd in this land. But you find it in its lair, and you stab it. A stake will incapacitate it, but you keep stabbing it with everything you've got until it's dead. If there's something else than that, if there's something more, some secret, then I don't know it. Unless I would have used it. That's the truth.
Let's hope that sometime in the future our paths will cross again and we can be of help to one another.
Well, I believe I'd fear for your well-being if our paths cross again. I don't think where I'm going you want to follow.
I don't know. I get the feeling we'll end up in the same place.
God's help you if you're right.
You as well.
Are you planning to go into the mansion on your own?
She sort of just kind of gives you a smile and a wink. Don't worry about me, dear. I'll be just fine.
I think it's foolhardy, but if you have your own death wish, then we have ours. I wish you luck.
You as well.
To the Wizard of Wines, then?
To the Wizard of Wines!
She begins to step on the elevator, but she does kind of turn her head a bit and go, "Be careful going there. I've seen a lot of bad things on the road lately."
Noted. Thank you.
Good luck.
And to you as well.
She steps onto the elevator and looks at the stone golems and goes up. And they start to creak up. And she turns around and looks at you, Xantix, and pulls something out of a pouch to her side and tosses it to you. It's a wooden stake. And she tosses it to you and goes, "In case you find him in his lair. You never know."
Thank you.
She nods, and it goes up.
Well, that went well.
As well as we could have hoped for. She's more stubborn than the elf over there.
It's not even here.
She's
Actually,
not to be trusted. She
I
knows
don't know.
something. She knows something about the vampire hunter.
Don't worry, our paths will cross again. This won't be the last we've seen of her.
Yeah, we'll stop by. I guess we can stop back by here on our way back through.
Yeah.
Whenever that will be. I'm afraid it might be too late for her at that point. So,
Well, in the meantime, let's go get some wine and see if we can find some food.
agreed. Well, onward.
To the Wizard of Wines, then. As Donovic kind of says that and sheathes his great sword. You all begin to venture out. It's Malachi informs you that it's relatively early in the morning, so you all ventured out. You are able to determine that it's probably going to take a full day's journey, so you'll either have to camp through the night or continue on through it. But you all rest up, or prepare yourselves and get moving, and with that we'll take a 5-10 minute break.
10-4.
Cool.
But
So while we're back, I want to, since Findrag's down there, can I like roll something to see if I get any kind of like intentions of like her being evil or like will betray us?
Roll an insight check.
Sexual insight.
Yeah.
20.
Lies.
I mean, like, do I get a good vibe or do I think she's like? That's what I was.
What'd you roll? Like, did you actually roll 20?
20. Yeah,
oh
I
my
rolled 20.
God. Okay, dirty 20. You get the vibe that she's very sincere in her desire to kill Strahd. Like, but you get the vibe that she's very forthcoming in, I want to kill Strahd. Here's how I plan to do it. That's what I want to do. But
no malintent towards us.
Yeah, you're not, I mean, she's not lying to you, but she is definitely shifty about her and the this vampire hunter. But with her intent to kill Strahd and how she plans to do it, she seems very forthcoming.
Okay.
And she seems very sincere in her idea that y'all probably can't handle it and you need to just let her do it.
Yeah, it kind of pisses me off.
I mean, she's gonna get herself healed. She insinuated that she's about to fucking go take him on by herself, so.
So.
If we, are we within earshot of this woman right now?
No, you all have begun to make your way away from the tower.
If Esmeralda is going somewhere, we might want to follow her. See if she can lead us somewhere of value. She clearly is hiding something.
I disagree. I mean, we already took our vote. We're heading to the Wizard of Wines.
Fair enough. The vote rules.
Oh, democracy.
See, this is what I was talking about. It works so well every time.
Okay. So you all make your way out of the area of this tower. You pretty much get all your travel gear together. Malachi's still just lugging around a shit ton of werewolf pelts.
If only we still have that bag of holding.
Yep, if only. But you all continue on, and
that bag of demon.
Hey, y'all destroyed for no reason.
No reason.
No, ain't nothing in that damn thing. It's a bag.
It had a murder man in it.
My precious pie.
It had a murder bag man inside.
That's why you don't take it. Because Mortal Bagman fucking came out.
I think Murder Bagman was coming out.
He was just hanging out.
He was
having
my
a
little
good time.
friend.
I forgot all about the murder bag man.
You fucking shook him up, pissed him off, and he came out, okay?
I think it may have been that thunder wave you cast that shook him up.
Fuck him. I owned him. He was mine.
oh Jesus!
We're addicted to pies that were made with the bones of children.
Not gonna talk about it.
I'm gonna pretend it didn't happen.
You know what? You got me there.
You know what? That's a really good point. So, you all make your way.
Look at that map you have pulled up.
Wait, you mean like
He has.
the?
Can I not look at it on roll 20?
The Barovia map? Oh shoot! No, I'm pulling up this. Never mind. Y'all can't see that.
We forgot that we can see it through
I forgot.
through the Zoom.
Okay.
Oops.
Just trying to do a little planning ahead, but it's fine. Okay, so
Open it in a different tab.
Sorry.
Hey.
Just trying to help.
Really good point. Okay, so you all travel along, and this road pretty much when you reach the main road, there's a tiny little bit of stretch, but then you come across another intersection where the road continues on straight ahead, but then there's also a very finely made road that cuts to the left, and it leads south. And there's posts. One that continues on straight ahead, and it says Kresk and Wizard of Wines. And there's one the one that points to the left says Solenka Pass. But go ahead.
We passed one. Did you say we passed one that said Solenka Pass?
So you come to an intersection, and it's.
Are we like right here?
Yeah.
This is a fork in the road situation. We either going to the Wizard of Wines,
And
going toward the
Krez.
Wizard of Wines and Kresk, or we're going down to the passage.
Well, I think that the passage. We do want to go down to the passage eventually, but
Let's see this wizard.
yeah, let's go see the
Democracy
wizard.
reigns supreme, remember?
I still agree with that. Yes.
Okay. You all continue, and eventually, after another hour or so, you reach this other intersection, and this one does split in two directions. To the right is a bridge that leads towards Kresk, and to the left, the path seems somewhat built and somewhat constructed. However, it does very clearly and very quickly become simply a somewhat well-kept dirt path, but still not quite as clear as a nice road would be. And that is labeled as leading to the Wizard of Wines.
To the wizard.
The wizard.
How much can we trust the road signs in these parts?
Has Van Renfield just become completely skeptical of everything?
Everything.
How do we know this is a real road?
Xantix, if that is your real name.
How do we know that Strahd isn't just drinking adrenochrome in his castle?
And I want in on that.
At this point, Van Renfield, you still
Illuminati.
do, in fact, want in on that.
All I'm saying is if they're gonna have an Illuminati, I want to be in it.
I don't want to just hear about it.
Well, I guess we should talk about. What do we think we could? We run through the night, or
How dark is it right now, Chase?
Well, it's always pretty fucking dark.
It's
And
always
Is
just
it so dark
Malachi?
that I couldn't send Charlie super high up to see if he could see anything in the distance, town wise?
you don't know.
Okay, well I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Do I need to make a roll for him?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Do.
Also, Chase, I'm assuming that like this trail we're on, like it on the map, it cuts through woods, but I assume that it's like fully wooded over, like we're under a canopy.
At this point, from what you see right now, not quite.
Gotcha.
It seems like this has been, from where you are right now, I mean...
Let us know when it gets to the point where it's like Beauty and the Beast, where all the wolves are circling and it's all tangled and brambled.
I'll let you know.
All right, but right now it's like pretty open.
Right
Like
now,
a path, like a road.
I mean,
We'll still be in my favorite terrain, and it won't affect us at all.
Right now, this seems to be, this seems to be a path that is intentionally kempt, and
Gotcha.
yeah, that this piece of land is important, because as you know, this is where most of the food and all of the wine comes from.
Gotcha.
It's a well-traveled road.
Yeah.
Probably has like porta potties on it and everything.
Send up that Bloodhawk.
Okay.
Yeah, send him up.
So you send out Bloodhawk, and he travels up high above the trees, and he flies around for a while, and he's following sort of your direction. And it takes a while, but he does eventually return. And when he does, he sort of like lands on your arm and just sort of like nestles against your arm and then pecks it. And sort of looks into your eyes. And you definitely get the sense that he's kind of telling you, like, move forward, but be careful.
Lassie said Old Man Jenkins has fallen in the well again.
I don't understand that reference, but I will act accordingly.
We should keep moving forward, but there's definitely danger ahead. Probably not tonight, though. I think it's probably our best bet if we camp for the night.
Fair enough. Malachi, what time of day is it?
Oh, shoot. I'd say it's probably around... I think we got it's probably about an hour till midday.
Oh, it's still pretty early.
Yeah, so we have some traveling we can do.
Perfect. I will say, I think it might make sense for us to camp for the night whenever it comes to that, as opposed to running through.
Chase,
Nice.
and in this moment, I would also like to use my primeval awareness, and since we're in my favorite terrain, it covers 6 miles.
Holy Jesus. Okay. Give me one moment. Let me look up your primeval awareness. Okay. So, where does it say it goes for 6 miles?
As an action, you can expend 1 ranger spell slot, 1 per minute, 1 minute per level of the spell slot, since whether aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present
or within
1
yeah,
mile of you,
I see it.
or within 6 miles.
Okay. You doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
Right.
You do get a faint sense of both undead and elemental.
Okay. And I would relay that to the group.
Really, elementals.
Yes, I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm still being followed.
Oh, by that ghost assassin thing?
Yes. He's followed me since we left. Or it. I don't really know its gender.
I don't think it really applies.
What
You're right.
is this thing going to kill you if it catches you?
Well, it's going to attempt to. It's been following me since Valaki.
Well, we'll deal with that when it comes.
I hope it doesn't come.
Super unhelpful.
Until then, I say we forge on. Undead seem to frequent this place. There never seem to be far anywhere we go. We should be ready.
Luckily, on our. Go ahead.
I just said agreed. That was it.
I was going to say, luckily, as we've traveled, I've taken what little downtime I've had to brush up on the study of elementals.
Well, I might know something, but do I know anything about elementals?
Roll an Arcana check.
All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, that's a 16 plus 8, so 24.
24. You do know a fair bit about elementals. Specifically, you do know a lot about invisible stalkers. Not really much more than Xemnas knows. He actually has a fair bit of information on them as well, but you just on your you know that these things.
I feel like if we if after we got attacked, I might have known a bit about them, but I would have taken some time to try and find something out. We don't have a ton of resources, but
and there wasn't anything that you could really find.
Mm-hmm.
But you do know just off the top of your head, I mean, these things are summoned as assassins, and they are completely invisible, and they
Yeah,
they
I remember this thing.
don't
I'd forgotten
stop
all about
hunting.
this.
And they never stop hunting their target.
As they kind of are chatting this over, Van Renfield just starts walking down the road toward the Wizard of Wines.
oh, I figured we're still
you're still
moving.
walking, but
Okay, cool, good. All right. I thought we were still at the crossroads. I was like, good.
Well,
We're doing a walk and talk.
Cool. A classic Sorkin walk and talk.
I have a sneaking suspicion, and I want to use an Arcana check to see if it's true. Would the ghost that Malachi can raise exist on the same elemental plane as the invisible stalker?
No. So invisible stalkers are more like air-based elementals.
Okay.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Again, for a separate.
Are they more are they like air elementals, or are they
Yeah, they're like air.
like ethereal?
Do I get my advantage for favored enemy?
Yeah.
I'd say most things that are invisible are ethereal, plane.
Yeah, they're more ethereal.
Gotcha.
They're not they themselves aren't ethereal. For instance, they can't pass through shit and just walk through. But,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You are able to pretty clearly recognize Xemnas that what Malachi taps into is the Shadowfell, which is the land of sort of particularly the Raven Queen's domain of the Shadowfell.
Okay.
Very undead based, and however not quite forcibly necromantic, more just in tune with death.
Okay.
Invisible stalkers in themselves have nothing to do with undeath or ghosts or anything like that.
10-4.
Okay.
Got you.
You all continue along your way, a bit on guard, and after about an hour of walking, this is when the road begins to canopy and the forest begins to creep in on itself. And you're very surprised to see that a lot of the overgrowth that's happening appears very recent. Like a lot of the places that the roots have come up and torn up, the dirt seems like fresh and still wet. You continue along, and Malachi eventually, after a pretty long days of travel, begins to, well, fellas, we've reached nighttime.
Can I do I want to look down at the trail and like get us and try and sense like what kind of things live and are like, or like what this undergrowth, like this new growth can like tell me about like what's going on this road. I guess just other than that, it's like become recently not that traveled, but
I'll help with that.
So hold on.
Like,
so
to,
what
like,
what
determine-
specifically are you looking for? Like,
I'm looking specifically for like stuff that is abnormal to like normal overgrowth.
okay, so roll a
And
nature.
but also like what kind of like creature, like what kind of tracks and things there are around here, like if there are any creatures and things.
Okay, so we're gonna roll 2 checks. First of all is gonna be a nature check, and you're basically
I
gonna
was
be
gonna
powwowing
say
this
also-
with Xantix.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was
roll
gonna
with
say,
advantage. Go ahead.
Yeah. In addition, I would be looking to see if it's like, is it like a pretty obvious difference between like the dead that we normally see and like just like living plant matter and foliage?
Actually, okay, what was your first roll?
It was a dirty 20.
Okay, what about your second?
11.
11. Okay,
Plus
so
1, so 12.
So you got a dirty 20. Xantix, roll your own nature check.
Okay.
Van Renfield, you're able to detect that
Right.
this is not natural growth. This is very quick. While you don't see the roots like noticeably moving, this earth is being like upheaved and moved about very rapidly. What'd you roll, Xantix?
Not good.
Something's
Not
not,
enough.
something's not right.
A 9.
9. I mean, these trees still look dead like every other tree that you've seen.
I gotcha.
A couple are a bit bigger, but that's about it.
Does the growth seem to be magical like my spike growth would be?
Roll a nature check, Zimnus. Van Renfield, roll also a survival check for the tracks that you were looking for. No advantage on that survival check, by the way.
10.
You're not really sure. I mean, this land's weird, Zimnus. Yeah, it's hard to tell what is magical here and what isn't.
Another dirty 20 for me.
Nasty.
Okay. There are a lot of tracks here. And you do recall, Esmeralda telling you that you're getting closer to where the werewolves are. And there's a lot of tracks.
Wildly.
Things have been running through here, and you can tell that there are some werewolf tracks. A lot of them look old. None of the werewolf tracks look particularly recent.
Okay. So
But-
Van Renfield.
Hold on.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's some strange tracks that you've not seen before, and
Okay.
they're very like thin, and they don't really look like feet. They just look like kind of circles with like something sprouting out of it. Not like any animal tracks you've seen. Some of them look really short and rapid. Some of them look bigger.
So, like, Van Renfield is like crouched down low to the ground, and as he's like reading these signs and stuff, he like motions over to Xantix and Zemnis. Findraw he ignores, but like the rest of the guys, he like motion. He knows Findraw's not about to crouch down to look at whatever he's pointing out, but
Yep,
so he
correct.
so he, yeah, so he like points out the like tracks in the undergrowth, and he's like,
There's some kind of unnatural activity here. Something is making the woods teeming with life or unlife or something.
What did you want to do, Zimnos?
Well, now that he's pointed out those tracks, I would like to take a look at them. And because of my natural explorer feat, because we're in my favorite terrain, I get double my proficiency bonus, and I can learn the exact number, size, and how long ago they passed through the area.
Yeah, go for it.
Do I need to roll again?
Yeah.
Investigation?
No, this would be survival.
Survival? Okay. So I'll add an additional 27.
You don't really see anything. Yeah. So tell me again. Okay. So as far as how recent they are, some of them are old. Some of them are really fucking recent.
I can tell the exact number that passed through their size.
Exact number would be about. As far as the older ones, I mean, with how old some of these tracks are, I mean, and I mean, when I say old, I mean probably like, within the past 3 days.
Okay.
That range, hundreds. As far as recently and like within like the past hour or so, about a dozen. Maybe a little bit, and probably like 14 to a dozen.
So 14 to a dozen large-sized wolves.
No.
Possibly what?
No. These are the tracks that Van Renfield saw. The unnatural ones. The ones that don't look like really anything you've seen before.
Okay.
these look like something fucked up.
You also do notice, though, a couple of human footprints.
How many of them?
2. Also,
Could I
very
maybe
recent.
try and do like a little bit of a try and take all this evidence and like glean like a sort of conclusion, like try and do like an insight or a
roll an investigation check?
Investigation. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that since you all are working on this together, roll it with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh sweet 17. All right, so we'll do the 17 plus 4, 21. That second roll was an 8, so we will not do that.
This forest is funky, dude. It's growing unnaturally, and I mean like growing, and yet everything looks dead. It's overgrowing the trail very rapidly.
Yeah,
There's something going on with the plant growth here,
yeah.
and
Chased it.
these
Sorry, go ahead.
tracks.
Some kind of dark life seeping through this forest.
Go ahead, Lance.
Was I able to determine a size of the creature that made the unknown tracks?
Right. A lot of them are small.
Mhm.
Like, probably that's something that would reach up to like 2.5, 3 feet tall. Most of them are medium, so like human-sized.
We've got 12 to 14 mid-sized creatures with either 2 humans in tow with them or hunting them.
Can I roll a nature check to see what's wrong with these plants? See if I can figure it out.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess if we're like planning on
I got a
settling
20.
down,
24, Chase.
24. Okay. There's definitely something magical at play here. These plants are seemingly, dead, but they are continuing to grow. And it's almost like they're feeding on everything they grow around. And it's like growing's what's keeping them not from actually dying. It doesn't really make sense, but that's kind of what you're gleaming. Like, there's clearly some foul magic here at play.
Does it react to touch or anything when I touch the plant life? Is it like,
Do you want to touch it?
give any? Yeah, I'm gonna touch it.
You touch it. You touch
And lose 30 hit points.
You touch a nearby tree, and no, but you do feel that it's kind of like a dead, wet, spongy wood texture. Like, that's what you kind of feel when you touch the trees.
So it doesn't like retract or any kind of motion movement.
Nope, not that you can tell.
These tracks are fresh. I think we should postpone taking our rest. Maybe go up ahead a little bit and see what we can find.
well, what I was going to say is that I have this new spell that I can use that creates an impenetrable dome around us for the night.
Be nice.
Takes about 10 minutes to cast it, but it's not that long.
I can get behind that.
Okay. I'll start casting Leoman's tiny hut
Okay.
as a ritual.
So Xantix just immediately begins to sit down and begin casting. What are you all doing while he's casting this spell?
Is it possible to use my spike growth to go around the hut he's casting without us being damaged?
Let's see.
I want to like also peer out sort of like up ahead on the trail and try and use my dark vision to like see anything.
Give me one. So spike growth is no. It's gonna fill the circle you cast it in.
Okay.
So spike growth actually does not. Spike growth's only gonna hurt you if you move in it. So theoretically, you could just cast it around all of you, and as long as you don't move, you're not gonna get hurt.
That's true. We do have to move 5 feet. But it only lasts for how long? It only lasts for 10 minutes, so it's really useless.
Yeah, it's the wrong fucking spell that I was looking at. This lasts for 8 hours.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
So let me ask this: when he casts that spell, we can get once it's done, we can get in and nothing can touch us, right?
Nothing.
So I can read it off to y'all.
Yeah, go ahead and read that, son.
Yeah.
A 10-foot radius immobile dome of force springs into existence around you and above you and remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if you leave its area. If I leave its area, you guys can come and go. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. The spell fails if its area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast this spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space.
There's 10 creatures with you.
Who?
Xantix,
No,
Malachi, Zemnis,
Yeah.
Fendral, Van Renfield, Piddlewick, Victor, Donovic. Let me count. Hold on. Sorry. Let me start again. Donovic, Van Renfield, Malachi, Xantix, Victor, Pitowick, Zimnus, Toad, Findraw, and Charlie the Bloodhawk.
Charlie
But
the Bloodhawk will sleep
would-
in the branch.
I would argue because Toad and Charlie are small creatures, this specifically says 9 creatures of medium size.
Let's see then.
If it comes down to it, Charlie will sleep on a branch above us in a tree.
20 hot.
In a evil necromancy tree.
9 creatures of medium
He ain't
size.
scared of shit.
Medium size or
medium size
smaller.
or smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie will sleep in a tree.
Okay.
You have Toad though.
Charlie flutters up.
Did you say
and
8 or
rests-
9?
9.
Fine.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 8.
Damn. Why do we have so many fucking followers?
Because y'all take with you everybody.
Well, everybody's necessary.
Victor's like, I'm not necessary. I'm very not necessary.
I don't even want to be here.
You couldn't let Victor sleep
I
outside.
beg to leave.
Victor,
Alright.
how do you feel about sleeping outside?
But I definitely
very
want to
not
be in the
good.
dome.
I do very much want to be in the dome, yes. So Bloodhawk flutters up onto a tree branch up high ahead, and you can tell that he's sort of posted up. He's very on edge.
Stand watch tonight, my friend.
Speaking of which... No, not Xantix. So... as night begins to, as Malachi says, he's the one who tells you that night is coming in, the mist does begin to sort of thicken. And some of you are beginning to realize that that's one way of telling when nighttime kind of comes, is that the mist seems to be a bit heavier. It's about 5 minutes into your casting Xantix when Zimnus... I need everyone to roll a perception check. Because I feel at this point you all are just sort of watching and waiting for Xantix.
8 for me.
I got a nat 20.
Do I get my advantage in my terrain?
Yeah, you do.
Fish that crit.
And my perception is normally so, it's like I have 0 modifier for it. It's
Well, I
usually-
rolled an 11 on both rolls.
Okay.
14 for me.
Let me...
How the hell do I have the highest passive perception and can't perceive shit?
So, you all are sitting there and you're keeping an eye out, and Van Renfield, how are you all positioned, for instance? Like are you just surrounding Xantix? Because how the road works is it starts off and it curves a little bit, and there's a little slope to the right of the road, which is a good place to cast
I wanna
an
be-
even sphere.
I want to be on the road at like the edge of the dome, like looking out while he's casting. I'm like standing where I think just inside the dome is going to be, like looking out down the road.
Okay.
I
Fine.
assume everyone
Peer
would
through
be
the mist.
everyone would be surrounding me because it's
Yeah.
Yeah, and after reading those tracks, I'm
And it-
definitely on
And
edge.
it starts at a point and then spreads out in 2 squares in each direction, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me see. Where'd you say you were, Xantix?
I'd be
Zimnus?
like-
Sorry.
I'm standing very near him too, just really on edge after what we've seen with those tracks.
All I see is a black screen on Roll20.
That's all you see? That's weird.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Am I lagging?
I don't know.
No, it's a black screen for me too.
Yeah, that's all I see.
I assumed that he was hiding it from us.
Okay.
Okay. So, you all are standing in what you believe to be this circle, but after 5 minutes of casting, the mist is creeping in very, very heavily. But, Van Renfield, you are able to sense that further ahead, you see a slight bit of movement behind one of these big rocks. And it's kind of hard to see it because surrounding you is all sorts of trees and all these little shrubs and like there's a whole lot of shrubs, a whole lot of trees, and some big rocks. But you manage to see that behind two of these rocks, you just see some rustling.
I want to pull my sword out and get my shield on my arm and motion over to Zemnis.
Say, there, in the darkness, we're not alone.
I would pull up both of my short swords.
Big Dog cast Fireball.
Where do you cast Fireball?
I'm just joking.
Okay. Hey, man. I don't know. Okay.
If
I can't even see the map. How am I going to cast?
Chase,
Yeah.
question. This is totally up to DM discretion. I didn't say it at the beginning. But midway through the spell, if I wanted to use my ability to remove the 10-minute casting time, like additional casting time from it being a ritual spell, to like finish it, then would that be reasonable?
I mean, I don't see any reason why you couldn't, because as soon as you get that inclination, I mean, you just stop doing what you're doing, which is nothing, and then you use your action to cast it immediately.
That's the reason that I was figuring. Well, the issue that I'm running into is that it's Tiny Hut is a 1 minute casting time.
Mm-hmm.
Cast as a ritual adds 10 minutes to it,
Oh.
and my ability removes the 10-minute casting time.
Okay, so what this is going to do then is you can use the spell's normal casting. Okay, so then what's going to happen is you would stop, which isn't going to cost any sort of action or anything.
Gotcha.
And then you're going to have to take the 1 minute to cast.
Okay. If someone starts like moving around and thinking that like this is something might be happening, I will switch to that. I mean, it'll be.
Well, then let's everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're going into combat, then I'm not going to do that.
We'll be safe if we're in the dome.
Well, okay, hold on. So,
But
I mean,
but
as
a minute
so-
is 10 rounds of combat.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
So
true.
as soon as
Yeah.
I mean, what's just happened is as you're casting this ritual, you see Van Renfield pull out his sword and Zemnis pull out his swords as well.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I mean, I'll if everyone's drawing weapons, then I'll like stop and get ready to fight.
Okay. So you stop casting the spell, and there's a moment passes as you all sort of tense. And you all begin to see a great deal of movement around you as what each of you, even with your high perception, Van Renfield, see that the shrubs around you, the smaller shrubs, begin to move. As these things are literally indistinguishable from shrubs, even as they move. However, they are clearly beginning to move towards you. And from
I want to.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
And from behind those rocks that you saw, Van Renfield, you do hear human voices. Now's the time.
Okay, then I immediately at the sound of that, I slit my fucking wrist and cover my sword in blood.
All right.
And rip it into flames.
We'll say combat starts right as you erupt your wrist. So.
All right.
I rolled a 16 for initiative.
Give me one moment. Trying to find my combat music playlist.
I just did 5 damage to myself. I'm already not starting this off great, but
Well, and you're already down 12.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Bucket.
Zimnus, what is your initiative?
16.
Findraw.
12.
Oh, I got a roll from Malachi. Ooh, that's probably the worst initiative he's ever had. Xantix.
21.
Oh shit,
Not
that's
gonna
probably
be
the
worse
best.
than mine.
That's the best I've ever had.
Jesus. Piddle Dick. 11. Van.
That's a big 1. That's
Oh,
a crit fail
Jesus.
initiative roll.
Well, it doesn't. What's your modifier? You still get your modifier.
Oh, +2, so 3.
Yeah.
Still not good.
It's still not
Still no bueno.
good. At least I got that fucking shield out.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, that
and
20.
I don't know. I also don't know, Chase, if the sword in flames gives us any extra visibility, but
It doesn't. And we'll go over that 1 second. 18. Victor getting 18. Jesus. Rolling. So much rolling. Should have done these. Should have done the enemy's initiatives ahead of time. That would have been smart. But you know what? I can't be smart all the time. Okay, so let's take you all. And move you here. So, tell me if your roll 20 is showing.
Am I supposed to see anything?
Yes.
It's all I can see my token, but it's completely black everywhere around
Okay.
me.
So that means that there's. So what's happening? Let me actually. Oh yeah, hold on. I need
Is
to-
it like? Is it really dark?
are you in Chrome or something? You should be able to
There it
see a
No.
little bit.
Did
There
it,
it
did it
is.
work? Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need to
yeah,
turn it
yeah.
on daylight mode because
Yeah.
other than that, then it's just dark. Okay. So as you all are beginning to see, and these are difficult to see on the map, and that's because these things are difficult to distinguish, but you are clearly beginning to see these tiny little icons, these little.
Oh, yeah.
So
Are they
look very
pixies?
closely as these bushes and shrubs and twigs begin to come to life around you. And
It's
there's
an
even
ant.
one right around here, one back in here, as they begin to move and just, they make no sound. They just, and you're beginning to hear this sinister laughter behind these two rocks. Okay. At the start of initiative, we have Xantix.
Are you the Wizard of Wines? cast
are
mage.
up there. There you go.
Yeah, and I'll cast mage armor on myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It is now Victor's turn. As you hear behind you, Victor just sort of goes, "Oh, by the gods!" And you see him cast a very similar spell as he casts mage armor on himself as well. And he just says, "Well, this is brilliant, isn't it? By the gods, I'm going to die out here." But he just sort of huddles close to you, Xantix. It is now Toad's turn. As Toad is going to hop behind this little bluff right here. This little
Rock.
little ledge, yes. However, he sort of trips, and it's just and all the twigs just sort of like turn in his direction. And he's gonna go, "Damn it!" And he is going to throw a dagger. Actually, he's going to use his short bow to attack this little twig right here.
Witchin?
1 second. Okay. And as he does so, he tries to get back up and pull his bow, but he ends up slipping on the sort of wet, uneven ground, and his arrow just flies up high into the trees, actually nearly hitting Bloodhawk up here. But Bloodhawk just sort of... Okay. That is Toad's turn, unfortunately. Xemnas, it is your turn.
I am going to move here.
And Xemnas, as you move closer, you see that this bush reacts right here. And there's even a creature right here.
Right where? There's more than one? Oh, okay.
That's right there, right next to you.
Well, first, that little fucker is going to get a hunter's mark.
Okay.
You go ahead and mark that. And then he's going to get 2 little short sword attacks.
Okay. Roll your... Are you doing... Yeah, roll your 2 attacks.
First one's a 16.
That hits.
Second one is an 8.
An 8. The first one hits as you swing out and just... However, go ahead and roll damage.
That'll be 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. So actually, with just your first swing, as you swing out and crack against this tiny little bush, this moving bush, it just slices up and just crumbles away with your attack. So you didn't even need to use your second attack. So we'll say you still have a second attack.
Okay. Can I even reach another one?
All right. Let's see. You have used 10 feet of movement. So, no, you have 20 feet. So, closest you can get is right there.
I'll move up to here.
Okay, you still have 5 feet of movement.
Just
Okay.
in case.
Okay. All right, it is now Charlie's turn. And here's Charlie up here in the trees.
Charlie gets up there. Charlie's gonna swoop down on little fucker right here and attack him.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
I can never remember what his is.
He currently has a +7 to hit.
Well, he rolled an 8.
An 8 total?
Yes, he crit failed.
Oh, okay. So Charlie just rushes out and and tries to swipe out at this small bush, but his talons sort of get caught in the leaves and the twigs, and Charlie's just unable to scratch at anything at all. Okay. Does he want to move anymore?
No, he can't without an attack of opportunity, can he?
Yeah.
Nope, he shall stay.
All right. Next, you see one of the larger bushes begin to move up here. As it sort of, you can just hear kind of as like some groaning of wood. As this one begins to just move forward. And that's all it can do. Findraw, you are up.
Alright, I'm casting fucking fireball. And I'm casting it right. How do you ping?
Hold down your click.
I'm casting it right fucking there, boy. Right there. See right there?
What's the radius?
Hold on, let me get to my sheet. I think it's 60. What the fuck?
Why are you casting it there? Is that where something is?
Yeah, you not see all those little fucking enemies right there? One right here, one right here.
Oh, yeah.
There's like fucking
It's got
4 of them.
20-foot radius. Okay.
Yeah, 20 foot. Sorry. I just tab out.
Okay. So you're casting it right.
Right on top of that buckle.
Yeah, I can't see in that shadow. So I had no clue there was anything there.
Okay.
20-foot radius would be like there.
Okay, well, I take my back. I'm doing it right here. Right in between those lines.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's scorch the
everything
fucking
off.
off.
Light them up.
28 for damage.
God, I'm trying to... I can't quite get the exact circle, but it looks like an oval, but it's about right there. Shit.
I want trees to bone. I want plants to bone. I want that rock to bone. All of it.
Okay. All right.
Some
So
people
what was
just
the
want to
damage?
see the world burn.
What was the damage?
28.
28. Okay. And that's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, sir.
So that one fails. What's your DC? Josh, what's your spell save DC?
Oh, I'm looking. Where I find it at? I forget.
On your spell sheet, up at the top underneath, like
Save 16.
16. Okay. So. And what was the damage?
28.
28. Okay.
That moment when you fuck the DM.
It's okay. I got 2 more.
So, this twig's obliterated. This twig's obliterated. These 2 vine-like creatures that just have vines and twigs hanging from them, just completely blown to smithereens. You see, as soon as the fireball explodes, you just see this humanoid figure that is like covered in furs and like leathers just run out from behind this rock, completely engulfed in flame before she just falls to the ground and smolders and just like crackles and burns as she lays dying.
Get fucked.
As that one is dead.
All right, Finjar's going to do a tactical withdrawal and move over here.
good, right next to the.
Oh shit, there's one actually over there. Take it back.
No.
This way.
No.
Damn it.
These things are hard to see for a reason.
God damn, that thing is fucking hit. I did not see that fucker there.
I even pinged him earlier, but
Chase is like, you fucked me, I fuck you.
Okay. It is now this one's turn. And he is going to cast with a square starting from a point within range. Okay. I need Okay, so how to cube? I'm doing a cube. Chris, I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
Is it just it's 20 feet total in each direction, right?
Yes, it's so, and you, where it like emanates from is like any one of the sides of the cube.
So
What are you casting?
So you can do it at range. So Jesus Christ. I need fucking everyone but Findral and Toad and Charlie to make a strength saving throw.
God, fucking, that's my spell, fucking piece of shit.
As all of you on the ground,
Who all needs to make it?
everyone but
Everyone
Toad,
but me,
Findral,
Toad.
and Charlie the Bloodhawk.
And it's a what save?
Strength. You all begin to feel the vines and roots below your feet begin to come up and begin to try to wrap around your feet.
Oh, that's not my
17.
spell.
That is not your spell.
14. No, I thought it was web. Very similar.
Okay.
17.
17. Van Renfield.
13.
13. Xantix.
14.
Okay. Oh shit, I have to roll for all these people. Ooh, Piddlewick does not make that. Piddlewick is restrained.
Can't imagine Piddlewick being super.
He's strong.
He's got midget strength.
Mm, let's see. That was Donovic does not make the save, surprisingly.
Oh.
That's surprising.
The strongest one almost of
Yeah.
us all.
Malachi does not make the save because I'm
Damn.
rolling like shit. Jesus. Okay. And Victor definitely does not make the save. Jesus. So, you all did fine. As you all begin to shake the roots away from your feet, kicking them down, you do see that Malachi, Victor, and Xantix and Piddlewick are all restrained and can't seem to move. This figure now behind this rock, who poked his head out to cast this spell, you can see that she is just covered in mud and filth, and you can almost smell her from here. She smells terrible. And she just has a grin on her face, and you can see that she's missing teeth as she ducks behind the rock again. Okay. It is now Piddlewick's turn. Piddlewick is going to sort of look at you, Xantix, a bit. His eyes sort of wide. And he is going to try to break free. But as he pulls on the vines, he's just unable to, and he looks at you with just wide eyes. Let's see. Donovic is going to... One second.
How do you get the rule?
Huh? Oh, it's just one of the things. It's like a circle with a little ruler on it on your side. Donovic is going to say, enough of these fools. And Donovic is going to use Misty Step to appear right behind that that woman who cast the spell. And he's going to make his 2 attacks against her. However, the first one, as he misty steps and swings his greatsword, this woman is incredibly agile and quick as she just ducks quickly and his sword just clangs against the rock. However, he scrapes against the rock and then thrusts out towards her. And that is enough to hit as he catches her just in the side, dealing 12 points of damage. As you can just hear her kind of and grit her teeth.
Concentration.
Yeah. Let's see. Good call. She rolls her concentration and succeeds on her concentration check. It is
Hit her harder.
It is now
her ass.
Malachi's turn, and he's going to. Well, shit, that sounds like a good idea. And Malachi is also going to Misty Step right out of it, and just enough away from this woman so that he can make his 2 attacks.
Was he restrained?
He was. So he makes his 2 attacks and just sort of says, I don't like this shit. He... 7, 8, 11...
Action.
hits both of his attacks, and you all aren't able to. Most of you aren't able to see her behind this rock, but you just see Malachi just hacking with his scythe, and you just hear screams as blood splatters behind this rock, and Malachi is just bringing up this bloodied scythe. You definitely don't hear any noises once he's done.
Does the spell drop?
The spell does drop.
Okay.
As Malachi just is like, fuck you. So, it is now a twig's turn. A twig. As they begin to rush forward. Oh, wait. As you see a few more come out of the woods as well. If I can get this shit to work. There they are. Okay, well, I just have to make new ones. But 5, 15, 20, 25. 30. Sorry, I had these fuckers ready, but okay. As a few more come out of your woods to your left, Zimnus, one of them from before beginning to just set upon you. They roll. That is a 10 to hit.
That misses.
And the other one rolls a 19 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay. That is a 5 points of piercing damage. This one is going to roll against Donovic and misses. Sorry, there's a lot of these fuckers. That should have been popping up. Okay. This other group begins to come out of the woods from here. I had all these on standby, but now I'm just having to make more. It's very frustrating. 5, 10, 15. 10. These two can't reach. This one just barely. Okay. As they are beginning to attack Charlie the Bloodhawk.
No!
That is a
Run.
13 to hit.
Oh, I'm going to have to pull up his...
He has a 15 AC, believe it or not. That is a 17 to hit.
That one does make contact.
And that one is only 11. So one of them hits Charlie the Bloodhawk for 4 points of piercing damage. Okay. So that was those fuckers' turn. All right. Okay, it is now the big plant creatures' turns. As... Jesus. One of them comes out from the woods here. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This one's supposed to be up here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Moving along the logs. Give me one moment. Golly, this is a lot. Okay. 5, 10, 15. This one here. 5, 10, 15, 20. And this one here are going to make attacks against you, Zimnus, at range. First one is a 10 to hit.
This is...
And a 9 to hit.
Misses.
As neither of them hit. Okay. So that is all their movement. Van Renfield, you are up.
I'm reasonably sure that this woman behind this rock is fucking KO'd. Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, sweet. I am going to immediately Eldritch Blast two of those things. This one here. Why can't I ping? Hold on. Like this guy. How do I ping? What's the...
Hold down
You
the
have
click
to-
button.
Select the mouse.
Okay,
like-
that one and that one. I want to shoot an Eldritch Blast at
Okay.
each of them.
Roll for your attacks.
Okay. Damn, my macro's not working. Let's see. 1d20 plus 4. That's a 16 to hit
That hits.
and a 14 to hit.
Those both hit.
Nice.
All right, roll your damages.
And so damage. Man, these were working earlier. Why are they not working now? All right, that's fine. Okay. is a 6. Is there a modifier to that? No.
Nope.
So we got a 6 and a 7.
6 and a 7. As the Eldritch Blast, both beams slam into these creatures and blast away part of their wooden, barky exteriors. But they just keep and just moving ahead. Is there anything else?
Cool. And then, so yeah, I think then I'm gonna want to, I want to move up to this guy here and try and knock him back with my shield.
Okay. Roll your athletics.
Strength, right? No?
Yeah,
I
strength.
guess that's,
Well, you get
yeah,
to add
athletics.
your athletics if you have
Okay,
it.
sweet. 14 plus 2. So 16.
He is knocked down.
Oh, yeah.
He is prone.
All right, I'm done.
Okay. It is now this Blight's turn. Okay. This Blight, seeing you rush towards it, Fendral is going to make a melee attack against you.
Good luck. 10 Ohio, bitch.
That is a 13 to hit.
Fuck.
Okay. And I need you to roll a athletics or acrobatics. Wait, actually, I need you to roll a target is grapple.
Well, I got a natural 20, so
Oh, wait, no,
whatever
sorry.
I have to roll.
Sorry, hold on. One target, bludgeoning damage, and a larger target is grappled. Okay, so you'll get to roll on your turn, but right now, since that attack hit, you are grappled. And
You wasted my nat 20.
Sorry, bud.
I'm pissed.
And you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wait, I'm grappled, but I don't get to make a saving throw out of it?
You
right when
can
it
on your
happens?
turn.
So it's 100% grapple?
If
it
the
hits?
attack hits, yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And then you can make the saving throw on your turn. All right. And you took,
Said 8.
8 points of bludgeoning damage. Let me mark
Wait,
you.
can I, well, I guess no, I can. Can I? I can use my action.
Yeah,
Fucking
you can still use your.
momentary stasis.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you want to make him roll again? Or wait. Hold on.
Not momentary, yeah. And it's not momentary stasis, it's fucking chrono shift.
So you're making him roll again.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's a nat 20. So
Okay, I'm chrono shifting it again.
you're
Fuck
chrono-
you. We're
Can
gonna
can
bone 2 of them.
You can do that in 2 in the
Yeah, I think so. It
What
doesn't
does
you
it say?
can't.
as a
What does
reaction.
it-
No,
Very
so
dry.
that was your reaction.
You only get
Ah,
one
okay.
reaction
Well,
per
shit.
round.
Make their decision.
Alright.
The target must use the result of the second roll. Okay, so now he gets to roll double damage.
Even
So-
even better.
So that was
You
8.
wasted my nat 20. You
8.
took it, you bastard.
So now you take 15 points total.
Jesus Lord. Okay.
So you took 8
Andrew.
and just add 7. Yes. Math.
Math is tough.
So yeah. Okay, however, it is now your turn, Fendral. If you would like to try
Oh
to
my God.
escape.
I have to. Let me see. What do I roll? Acrobatics or
Oh no,
strength?
yeah. Actually, no. Sorry. I got all mixed up. The Vine Blight went last, so now we're at the top of the order with Xantix's turn.
You're fucking me up.
Hey, man, it's a lot. There's a lot of little fuckers running around. Xantix, you're up.
All right. Let's see. Well,
What you doing?
I'll cast Tasha's Mind Whip on the one that is grappling Findra.
Okay.
I believe that is a intelligence saving throw.
Oh,
Yes.
it fails.
Okay.
So it can use its action or is reaction part of that?
It cannot take a reaction. And it must use an action, a bonus action, or movement, but only one.
Can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Gotcha.
And it takes 14 points of psychic damage.
All right. As this creature
And-
just sort of like its viney tendrils wrapped around
Viney?
you. Vine. Wrapped,
I thought this was going to be a very different episode.
wrapped
Back on
around
Amiga
your
show.
tendril as its head begins to sort of twitch, but it's still gripping you.
Cool. Is this can I manifest this as an action or a bonus action?
As
Sorry,
well.
let me just my spectral or my manifest mind. It doesn't say as a bonus action.
bonus
There
action.
it is. Okay. I will summon it as a bonus action.
Where are you summoning him?
I'll summon him. Fucking anywhere. It's incorporeal, so it can't be attacked.
Damn it! I thought I was
I
going
don't
to have
know.
a thing for this, but where are you putting it?
Conjure it within 60 feet of me.
Here. Spooky Ghost
Yeah.
Hand, controlled by Chris M.
Yeah,
There
and
you
then I'll
go.
move.
You
I'll
can move it.
Like, I'll move here, and
Okay.
I'll move this. I'll put it like right. I'm gonna put him right over here. I'll
Perfect.
Move, yeah, I'll move in between them.
Okay. All right. It is now Victor's turn. As Victor is going to back away. And he's going to say, well, here goes nothing. And he's going to throw his ice knife at this creature. Ooh, and that's a hit.
Ooh.
Big money. And with 5 feet. So let me see if they make their dexterity saving throws. And one does. But it probably won't matter. So 1d10, then 2d6s. Ooh, yep, that's not going to matter. As both of these vines are, these needle blights, as they are called, are destroyed. And Victor sort of adjusts his coat and goes, well, I got 2. Would you look at that? But he still looks rather terrified. It is now Toad's turn. Toad, ducking down behind here, is going to come around and shoot his short bow out at one of these needles that is attacking Bloodhawk. However, this terrain is just difficult for him, and he's really short. He fires his short bow, and it just, again, hits wide. Xemnas, you are up.
Are both of these fuckers right here still alive?
Yep.
All right. Well, I will.
You mean all three?
There's three.
No, there's only two.
What are you talking about? There's three.
There's only two.
Bro. What is that?
Oh,
Right
there he is.
What is that?
Even I saw him.
Where's the third one? Oh,
marked him
there's
green.
one right in front of me.
Yep.
Well, he's gonna get my hunter's mark reapplied to him,
Okay, that's your bonus.
and then I'm gonna take one short sword attack. That's a 25.
That hits.
And then my damage will be 8 points of damage.
And he is just obliterated again. These things are very small and very weak, and you're just crumbling them to bits.
I'm gonna move over here and give that little fucker a nice
ahead and
little
roll.
short. That is a 15
That hits.
and a 7.
Again, just crackling them into pure twigs, just kindling at this point.
And then I will end my turn there.
Okay. It is now Charlie's turn.
And old Charlie is going to dash 60 feet fucking sky high where he is out of the range of any of those fuckers.
Is he doing a disengage action?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Charlie uses his action to disengage and fly up before any of the twigs have a time to react and try to swipe at him.
And he's going to hang out up there where nobody can reach him.
Okay, Findraw, it is now your turn.
All right, what do I roll to grab her out?
You got to roll I believe it's either acrobatics or athletics. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's either. It's either.
17.
17. All right. You manage to wiggle free out of this Vine Blight's grip. You're now free.
Do I have a normal action?
No, that was your action.
That's fucking retarded.
However, you still have... Dude, come on. However, you still have movement.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I guess I'm going to... let me get that ruler. I got... Yeah, I'm just going to move... I guess down 10, 15, 20... Down here? I got
Okay.
20... No, I got 30. Okay.
And because of Tasha's Mind Whip, this creature cannot take its reaction. So it just sort of... as you walk away. Okay. Both of these druids are dead. It is now Pitawick's turn. As Pitawick, now free from the entangled, ducks behind this little ledge here. However, slips a bit, and you can just see a lot of movement happening, and you can see that some of the twigs are still making eye contact with him. He does, however, throw a dagger out at this twig right there, and that is a hit. And is just enough to kill that twig blight as well. As Pitawick turns to you, Xantix, looking proud. All right.
I'll give him a thumbs up.
It is now Donovic's turn. As Donovic turns around to this blight and makes an attack against it. As he just turns around with barely even looking, just cleaves this little twig blight in two, sending splinters up in the air. He then spends little time rushing forward towards this this tree creature and makes an attack against it as well. However, this creature is a bit bigger, and its wooden arm seems to be enough to sort of crack against the sword, and the sword just kind of glances against the wood as it splinters off. This creature's still standing, barely even phased. Malachi is going to make an attack against this creature that you have proned, Van Renfield. And it gets advantage.
Yeah, I proned it so hard.
Yes, tell me more.
Proned it. 7. And Malachi, just with his first swing, does just enough damage to just cleave this downed twig thing in half. And he then goes, hell yeah. And he moves forward. And goes towards these twigs. That one. His first swing is just not enough as it swings over this tiny little branch's head, only cutting off some of the leaves, not actually affecting the actual creature. However, he swings his blunt end of his staff back out, and that is enough to absolutely destroy that little twig blight and just crack and splinter wood everywhere. Okay. It is now the twig blight's turn. As this one moves right up to Malachi and attempts to make an attack. Ooh, and that's actually going to hit. So it does. 3 points of piercing damage against Malachi. As it just claws against his leather, managing to sneak a bit of damage in. These twig creatures seem to be pretty much just, now that their masters have fallen, it seems that they just are still relentlessly attacking. This one is going to make its attacks against Donovic. Only one of which hits. As it claws against his metal armor, managing to find just a bit of damage, but not quite a lot. Yeah, it's just the 2. It's just the 3 now. Van Renfield, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to go right over here. Boom. And I'm going to slash at this guy with my sword.
Do it.
My flaming sword. Oh wait, no, that's damage. Sorry. Oh, same thing. 12.
12 to hit.
Yeah.
Just enough to hit.
Okay. For damage, I got an 8.
8 points total.
Yes.
Did you roll your right damage? Your flame sword?
Yes, that has that included.
All right. 8
It
points.
was only a 1.
You slice out against the bark of this creature, and you can see the dead wood is beginning to catch on some of the tree, but it's not enough to quite, because the wood's soggy and wet.
Sure.
As it cuts
All right.
across,
Well, I'll hit it again.
dealing quite a bit of damage, but it's barely standing up.
All right, I'm gonna hit it again.
All right.
21 to hit.
That hits.
And then 13 damage.
And this strike is enough to, as you thrust it through the center of this tree-like creature, you just bury the burning blade and split the wood, and this time all that's left is just some burning cinders.
Sweet. I'm done.
All right. It is now this creature's turn, as it is affected with Tasha's Mind Whip. It's going to move. And that's all it can do. Because Tasha's is dirty. Xantix, you're up.
That it is. Oh gosh, what's the best move here now that he's next to me? Fuck.
Well, he is still affected by Tasha's, if I'm not mistaken, or is it the end of its?
I think it's by the end. At the end of its
Okay.
turn. Yeah. So it's no longer affected. Yowza, yowza, oochie woochie.
What are you doing?
I'll cast.
Did we lose Lance?
Ruh-roh. Guess in the meantime I'll cast Magic Missile,
Okay.
and yeah, we'll just cast Magic Missile
All right. Go ahead.
on the boy next to me.
Roll those damages.
Okay. Okay. Almost. Almost perfect.
What'd you roll?
8, 9, let's see, 8, 9, 10. That's 13 points, and I'm going to use, I don't know. It works in Pokemon. I'll change it to fire damage.
Okay. It doesn't seem to have a difference. However, 13 is
Okay.
just enough to blast this creature into splinters as it just
Yay.
tears it apart from the inside, just blowing flaming holes through it. That creature's dead. And it does not take much for Bloodhawk and Malachi to both take apart this last remaining twig blight that is left. So we are
There's
now...
2 more.
Where's the other one?
There's 3 more up here.
Oh my god.
Dog, there's like 5 on the board.
Yeah. There's 2 more up there.
All right. Well, let's see who goes next.
You thought you were going to be clever.
I know, Jesus. I fooled myself. However, like literally everyone goes, and these things are falling apart. So for the sake of brevity, it really does not take a lot for these last three remaining twig blights to be taken apart by both Bloodhawk, Malachi, Piddlewick, and Toad's ranged attacks, as well as Xemnas's. Who's playing stuff in the background? All right, so for the sake of brevity, then, we have now exited combat. As you all manage to clear out what little bit of this forest seems to be assailing you, there's a bit of respite as no one is very hurt.
Does this like totally all that like weird stuff we were seeing before? This kind of like explains it in our heads. Like this all lines up with.
It seems these creatures, I mean, they seem to be, you know, made of dead wood and things like that, and they seem to match the sort of texture of the tree that Findral felt. So
I want to do like I want to investigate the like bodies of the humans.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll search one.
What exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for a note that says, "This is my entire plan, and here's my
Sure, evil
intentions."
plan. Yeah, there you go.
I'm
Yeah.
certainly looking for like signs for like what they look like they were up to. Like, do they look like bandits or do they look like some sort of evil
both
sorcerer?
Yeah.
both of you roll investigation checks.
Gotcha.
17 for me.
17 on the dice, so 25.
Yeah, there's no evil plan. There's really not much on them. They're covered in dirt. You can even smell what seems to be probably some like manure.
I would like to do.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I would like to do. I don't know if it's either nature or survival, but I think it'd be survival. But I want to like try and see if I can tell where they've like the direction they've come from.
Sure.
Like if I can pick up a trail.
Go ahead and roll your survival. But it's really, you get the sense that it's very unlikely that these were simply bandits because they don't really have any like jewelry or anything of value on them. So you can't imagine that they would be interested. These seem like very savage individuals, like honestly mad. Their teeth are rotted out. They're just covered in dirt and gross. They seem like some sort of savage druidic type people.
So I got a 22.
22. It seems that they came from further in the direction that you're going, through the forest, not necessarily on the trail, but in the direction of the Wizard of Wines.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We might face more of these people up ahead. I'm not sure what they wanted out of attacking us. Maybe they think we've come to attack them. But we should keep a weather eye out.
I agree.
Perhaps
Should we-
these things are what is vexing the wizard.
Or stopping him from bringing shipments in. Well, do we still want to rest for the night? You look pretty beat up, Man Renfield.
I've seen worse.
How beat up are you?
I'd say if I had to quantify it in some sort of number scale, I'm at about a 35 out of 52.
God.
So precise.
Wow. That's very specific. Okay. I mean, I can still lay down that hut, but oof. I can do it faster this time for sure.
I could maybe do with the rest.
Okay. I'll start casting Liam's tiny hut with my thing, so it only takes a minute now.
Okay. You all sort of stand guard around the minute, and you're unassailed for this minute as Xantix is able to cast this sphere, and you all are very cramped in, and Bloodhawk is forced to hang up on the trees, but you are all able to sort of get some sort of rest. Although, I'm trying to think. It's a very small area. For instance,
What if we all sit with our backs to one another and lean backwards?
It's not that small. It's
It's
what,
true.
10 foot It's a 10-foot radius, so 20
Yeah, I mean,
feet.
everyone has
Right.
about I mean, the way it fit in is everyone
10
has
feet
like
for
just a
9
little-
people, though. Like that's 1 foot per person.
No, but it's
It's 10
but
feet. It's 20 feet long, 20 feet tall.
20 feet
Oh,
long. 20,
okay.
It's
yeah.
a 20 feet circle.
20
so
20
it
foot
ended
circle.
up everyone has pretty much a 5-foot little square.
Yeah,
It's a
like
very,
barely
very
leaves that.
tight, uncomfortable fit, but you all are able to sort of
Ben
get some
Renfield kind of
rest.
like curls up like a dog.
Yeah. I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it's safe.
Yeah.
You all are able to go through the night relatively unassailed, until you all begin to sort of wake up one by one, or Malachi ends up waking you up one by one after your long rest and says, "It's morning. It's time to go."
Okie dokie.
So,
Can we see anything from inside?
and wait, how long does the tiny hut last?
8 hours.
8 hours? Okay.
Yeah.
Not at the moment. Wait, are you asking if you can see out of the hut?
Yeah, we can see out of the hut.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, like, does it look the same?
Yeah, I mean everything looks relatively the same. It's the road just continues on through this forest, still pretty overgrown, but
Chase, how are my feelings on Strahd these days?
dude, you should fucking kill that guy.
Sure.
He sucks, man.
Here's the crazy twist though, is that like sure now he doesn't think he's necessarily their greatest ally, but it's like I'm still not above making a deal with this one.
Sure. No, you're never above making a deal, man.
Yeah.
But you
Aren't you a vampire hunter?
No. Not
You're more of a werewolf guy.
He's a blood hunter.
Yeah, blood hunter.
I will kill whatever it takes to save what I hold dear. I'll leave it at that.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck what I have to kill.
Sounds like a strong bond that you have.
Yeah, jeez. So you all wake up in the morning and you continue on, and the road continues on for relatively the same until after about a half mile, the road becomes this muddy trail that meanders through the woods, and it's descending gradually until eventually the canopy of trees parts, revealing this large mist-shrouded meadow. The trail splits in two directions. One branch heads to the west into the valley, heads towards the west into the valley with a sign that directs you towards the Wizard of Wines. And the other sign, or the other direction, leads to the south into more very, very thick and overgrown dark woods down in this direction.
We've come this far to see the wizard. We should
I agree.
follow it through.
I agree. Seems our best bet.
Let's get on with it, Donovic says as you all begin to move forward. A light drizzle begins to fall. Unpainted fences blindly follow the trail, which skirts north of a sprawling vineyard before bending south towards a very stately building way far off in the distance. The fog takes on ghostly forms as it swirls between the neatly tending rows of grapevines. Here and there, you see rope-handled half-barrels used for hauling grapes. North of the trail is a large stand of trees, just a bit of the forest that seems to be growing off on its own. But it seems to be growing And growing is a tricky word, but it seems to be actually dead woods, very different from the woods you've been surrounded by recently. As you look towards this little gathering of trees, you see that a man wearing a dark cloak and a cowl stands at the edge of the trees. And you see far ahead that he's actually waving you closer towards what appears to be a small camp resting at the forest's edge. You see a few others begin to stand up and look out in your direction as they leave what appears to be a very small, dwindling fire. They're not advancing towards you, but they are beckoning you to come closer.
Do they look like Vistani?
Make a perception check. You good?
I mean, I don't. It's I don't think it's a 4 on the dice. It's an 8.
That's a You're really not sure. It's very misty and it's very dark and it's very hard to tell.
Whoever they
How far away are they?
whoever they are, they've already seen us. We might as well go.
Yeah, they're waving us over.
Probably, just a good distance over a small hill. Not very far. Enough to just sort of get out their figures. And so are y'all moving towards them?
Yeah, Van Renfield just keeps walking straight toward him.
All right.
Yeah.
You all move ahead, and you're tense and you're uneasy, but it seems to be that they are waiting for you to come. And you actually begin to hear a distant sound of a child crying, very young, an infant crying. As you pass, you see further down, you see a very, very weary old 2-story building off in the distance, and this seems to be the main house in the vineyard, but that's way, way off to your left. You move closer towards this bundle of trees and towards this makeshift encampment, and eventually you find that the people here are not Vistani, but they're very weathered, and they look very, very sort of beaten down and desperate. They're wearing clothes that are tattered, some of them with scratch marks, and one of the women is carrying an infant in her arms. And it's pretty easy to see that some of these are children. This seems to be a large family that's gathered, and they look very, very desperate. And as you approach, the man wearing the hood, this older man, lowers his hood, and you see just pitch black hair with large streaks of gray in it, and an eye with a small scar over it as he goes, A bit foolish to wander out in the woods like this, eh? But I dare say it was likely the Night Mother's will that you've come this way to find us. Come, there's fire. Be warm. And he turns and walks back towards the fire, and this desperate-looking family just sort of wearily looks at you as you approach.
Oh, thank you. I'll sit next to the fire.
So, as you sit next to the fire, you immediately sit next to a very, very strong looking man. He's sitting next to a woman who has 2 young children sitting next to them.
Can I take out my werewolf pelt and like put it over the kids for like warmth?
As you begin to sort of approach, the large man sort of like steps up a bit and goes, hold just a moment. And he looks out to the woman next to him, and she looks a bit nervous as well, but she sort of nods to him. And she says, "Dear, I think Father knows what he's talking about." And the man sort of... And he kind of holds his hand out to take the pelts, and he goes, "Thank you. Sorry, I'm just a bit nervous lately. Thank you."
Seems wise in these parts.
The old man...
At any rate, I hope it keeps you warm.
And so let me get this all... Let me... As I said, there's 8 of them surrounding this fire. And let me get a good... I'm trying to get a good list of everyone. There's a man and a woman sitting next to you, the man you just talked to, Van Renfield. And they have 2 young children sitting next to them. The woman's holding a crying baby. And there's a young teenage man standing, or a young teenage man standing just not far behind them. There is another woman who's sort of pacing around. And then there is probably a man in his 20s, a very kind of skinny, slender man who just seems to be eyeing you all relatively suspiciously. The old man, however, approaches you all and goes, "Now that you've come and be warm, may I ask your intentions here?"
Well, we were hoping to meet with the Wizard of Wines and see why shipments of food have stopped.
Well, you've met the wizard. Perhaps I should tell you what the reason is. We've been set
that's
upon...
you?
I'm the wizard.
Oh, nice to meet you. I too am a wizard, and I'll extend my hand.
He sort of looks at you a bit curiously, but he takes it and he goes, "I'm, in truth, not a real wizard. That is simply the name, but I am the owner of this vineyard, as was my father before me and his father. The Martikovs have run this vineyard for nearly centuries now. But, as I'm sure many around this land are able to deduce, we've come to a bit of ruin. And with our ruin, so will come the valley's ruin. You traveled the road. I assume you were set upon by dangers as well."
Yes, some plants, moving ones, and some wild people.
Savages of Yester Hill, a tribe of druids who worship Strahd as their god. They've twisted much of the forests in this valley to their whim. They use it to taint the land, corrupt it. And recently, they have set upon our vineyard as well, in hopes of tainting the entire valley. But how? Their creatures feed and grow off the soil that we used to keep fertile. I'm sure by now they have bled it dry. But I think they might have some more sinister plans as well. We've seen them use quite a number of poisons. Nearly killing Dag here. And he points to the very large man who sort of nods. They could send out poison wine throughout the valley if they wished.
How do we stop them?
You kill them. That is what I'm sure the Night Mother has sent you here to do. I have seen it in a dream. And the woman...
Fickle things.
The slender young man sort of like approaches and goes, Father, I think perhaps you're being a bit trusting of these strangers. And the woman holding the baby goes, Ilvir, have some faith. Father knows what he's doing.
And oh yes, we did come to help as well.
See? I've told you. And to a bit of surprise, this old man sort of pushes past you a bit, Xantix, until he makes very direct eye contact with Malachi. And he stares at Malachi and he goes, Yes. You are the one, aren't you? And he kind of looks him up and down and kind of looks up at how tall Malachi is. The Night Mother does very little without reason, doesn't she? Malachi just sort of looks a bit confused, but... Well, I suppose not. Come, rest by the fire, and I will explain all to you, and your friends as well. And guys, I think that's where we'll end it tonight. Be a good pickup to have Brandon here. I think he needs
to absolutely. Listen, I don't know about this Night Mother. I just am here. I have my corn, and this guy's telling me something crazy. I see you look like you've fallen on hard times. I see it all. All right, that was epic. Nice.
That was a good one.
Very good.
It's a bummer we lost Lance there at the end. Said his internet went out because of the storm.